All right, seventh grade, this is Mr. Mariani, and today's video is going to be a continuation of our lesson that we had been working on in class. So I'm going to show you a couple steps, and this will be your assignment until Thursday. Thursday, you're going to receive a new assignment, so remember to subscribe and check back on Thursday, okay? So in class, we took a photograph of ourselves. We used a grid. I have Mr. Williams right here. I was able to break his picture apart into a grid. The grid helps us for a couple different reasons. Our final project is going to look something close to this, with the half geometric, the half organic. Now today, for today's purposes, what I did is I went back and I started re-sketching Mr. Williams so I can show you a couple things that we need to learn. Now, at home, you're not gonna have different shading pencils like we looked at in class. In class, we looked at, again, there was the 4H we use in class, which is the lightest. Then there was the B, which is our medium pencil in class. Then we had our B2, which is the beginning of our darker. And then we had our B4, which is our darkest pencil in class. But for today's lesson, and because you're at home, you're not gonna have a variety of pencils, I'm just gonna use an HB, or if sometimes most of our pencils are 2Hs. Try to stay away from using the lead pencils. Try to use these wood pencils. They have a little bit better graphite. So remember a couple of things. I'm gonna start with my eye. When you're shading these tight little circles, the problem that we're having in class is that our assignments aren't getting dark enough. We did this really nice light shading because we're scared to make our image dark. But what you don't understand is we can go ahead and erase some of the darkness, but we can also just slowly transition and darken up the whole picture. So we can see right here, I'm using these tight little circles, looking for these details. The grid helps a lot if you have the grid on your actual paper too. This particular paper, we're not putting the grid on because I already did that with my other one and I erased my grid. One thing you are gonna be doing today is you're gonna be erasing your grid when you're completed with it. But the one thing that's important to me today is that I'm making sure that I'm getting dark enough. So I'm using these tight little ellipses to kind of get going, and then I smear where I want to smear, where I want to take it away. I lighten it up with the eraser, but I'm going through and I'm slowly getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Now, with this geometric side, what I did is I went through and I found areas that were the darkest and I shaded them in. Now, with my image, this whole side of this face is really dark. You're not gonna make this side of the face as dark. You can find different elements you want to make darker. So area the eye socket around the eyeball, I was able to make that a little bit darker because that made sense to have a little bit of a crease to it. His beard, which a lot of you will use your hair, I was able to break into light dark mediums, and move between that. And this side of the shirt over here of his hoodie, a lot of us have some form of our shirt showing. So showing part of that hoodie is something that we got to do. We got to make sure that we show these like dark areas, light areas. So this is kind of a completed. The one problem that we have in class, again, is we're not going very dark. So Mr. Mariani has a little bit more on here. I could go a little bit darker on this side. This side's pretty good. I could add a little bit more if I want to add a little bit more. But when you guys are creating yours, it's important to think about it square by square. And if you notice, remember we talked about numbering them in class. If this is a number 1, then this has to be a number 5. I should be able to see a big jump. I should also be able to see 2, 3s, and 4s. And a lot of our assignments where we're at right now, we're not seeing the 2, the 3, and the 4. So when we're creating these and making these, it's not working the way we want it to. So let's take our time today and tomorrow. Let's get these finished up. When we return from break, they are going to be handed in. On Thursday, I'm going to have a brand new assignment, a step-by-step. So you want to make sure that Thursday you check in. We're starting a new project. It's going to be paper and pencil based so that you'll have everything you need. But please check back in on Thursday. So make sure you hit subscribe so that you are ready to go on Thursday. Okay?